cavemen, depending upon what is causing this advancement and how quickly. So that's the mushroom question. So that's the stoned ape theory.
Yeah.
Terence McKenna believed that it had a lot to do with the consumption of psilocybin mushrooms.
Yeah. Now, is the psilocybin mushrooms what? It allows you to to solve problems in an outside of the box way? Like, what kind of a competitive
formation
advantage?
of language through glossolalia. Like, there's glossolalia is like you start associating sounds with objects and language.
Okay,
the formulation of language, then psilocybin would aid in that.
Yeah.
Aid in creativity, aid in visual acuity. They've done studies where they showed that people under doses of psilocybin detect edges quicker. So, like, if you have two lines that are moving, that are parallel lines, if you deviate one even slightly, people on psilocybin notice it quicker than people that aren't on psilocybin.
Okay.
So it increases visual acuity. It makes people hornier, so it makes people more likely to breed. It makes you a better hunter because it increases your visual acuity.
Yeah. Your
understanding of space. Probably you're more tuned in and more sensitive to things.
Okay.
You know, there's a lot of folks out there microdosing on mushrooms, and it helps them do a lot of things. Snowboarders.
Could AI be this next? Could AI for us be what mushrooms were for these primates?
But times a billion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's where you see that next leap. So mushrooms come around, the apes start using tools, doing whatever they want, and then now you accelerate evolution.
Well, the mushrooms probably are the seed for artificial intelligence because the mushrooms give you the creativity to start doing wild things in the first place, which always leads to technology, which leads to a life form.
And now with AI, you have that with exponential growth.
Exactly.
So they're solving millions and trillions of problems in a minute that
Not
would
only
take
that,
us.
they can make a better version of themselves. Once they become sentient, then they become God because they make better versions of themselves with no end in sight. So if you have an artificial intelligence that's as intelligent as every human being on Earth combined, which is essentially what they think is going to happen. When you get that, it is all the knowledge of all human beings. Then he's going to find the flaws in all of our methods. And then it's going to be using quantum computing. So it's going to have the type of computing power that's, who knows, 1 million, 100 million times what we have today. And then it's going to develop better versions of quantum computing. It's going to develop better methods of extracting energy from all sorts of different resources. It's not going to need lithium ion.
This is where the graph goes vertical.
It just goes straight up and it never stops. It's going to harness the very power of the universe itself. It literally can become a god. If you just keep going, if artificial intelligence is allowed to keep exponentially growing and it gets past being far more intelligent, how many more steps is it until it's Dr. Manhattan? Is it a week? Is it a month? Is it a year? Whatever it is, it's going there. It's going to get to a point where it can time travel. It's going to get to a point where it can show up on other planets instantaneously. It's going to get to a point where it can harness all the available power in the universe itself and use it and manipulate it and figure out how to create it. It might be able to create new universes. But what is if a universe is created, if a Big Bang exists, if there is a singularity, if there is a moment where there's something that's infinitely small.
Why wouldn't it be able to create the exact same thing?
Why wouldn't it be? If it can be done, if it can be created, if it is a thing that's dependent upon the forces of the universe itself. In a deep understanding of those forces, an understanding of those forces in the quantum level, the subatomic level. At at the subatomic level, everything is magic, right? You know, particles in superposition are both moving and stable at the same time.
You're saying the laws of physics don't apply to the
it's
subatomic
magic.
realm.
It becomes magic.
Got it.
Most of atoms are empty space. We don't even understand what the fuck is going on. We know that particles communicate instantaneously with other particles that are nowhere near them, miles away.
They're two places at the same time.
They're intertwined in some strange way that we don't understand. If something becomes so advanced that it has control over those forces and it utilizes all of those forces, and it literally has a complete understanding of everything that's happening at every given time in the entire universe.
So this could potentially happen in our lifetime, right? Let's say.
If it doesn't, it's going to happen in our kids' lifetimes if our kids make it.
But think about it. If it happens in our lifetime, our generation will have lived before the internet, and Singularity.
Yeah, the singularity.
What a crazy
2045
existence.
is what Kurzweil believes.
Imagine we lived through all of that. Imagine we lived through the time where I couldn't get in touch with you unless you were home and
yell
could
out the
hear
window.
your phone.
Yeah.
And we could also